peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. These are the words of Christ in the Gospel of John, chapter 14. But let us be completely honest for a moment. How often do you actually feel that peace? You are tired of feeling like you are always on edge, always bracing for the next disappointment, the next loss, or the next wave of anxiety. I know that feeling. I know that silent exhaustion well. Today, we are going to stop. We are going to take that heavy, anxious heart and bring it back to the only place where true rest is found. If your peace feels fragile right now, if you feel like you are walking through your days carrying too much alone, just stay here with me. We are going to pray and we are going to anchor your mind in truth before anything else tries to steal your peace today. Let us talk about the heavy burden of trying to hold everything together. Sometimes the reason our peace vanishes so quickly is that we are constantly trying to manage outcomes that were never meant for our hands. We try to anticipate every problem. We try to protect everyone we love. We try to keep our own heads above water while pretending everything is fine. It is a very lonely way to live. Maybe you have learned to function while being deeply tired. You have carried this invisible load for so long that you no longer even realize how heavy it is, until the moment you finally sit down and the exhaustion hits you all at once. The Apostle Peter wrote something profound in his first letter, chapter 5, verse 7. He offers a very clear instruction. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Notice that he uses the word all. He does not just mean the massive crises or the earth-shattering losses. He means the quiet worries too, the unspoken financial tension, the relationship that feels distant, the fear of what the future holds, the grief that still sits heavily in your chest, long after everyone else expects you to have moved on. To cast something means to throw it, to intentionally let it leave your hands. But our human nature makes us want to hold on to our worries. We subconsciously believe that if we worry enough, we are somehow preparing ourselves for the worst. We confuse anxiety with responsibility. We think carrying the stress means we care. But God does not ask you to figure it all out. He asks you to hand it over. And Scripture gives the most beautiful, simple reason why. Because He cares for you. He does not ask for your burdens because you are failing. He does not ask because your faith is weak. He asks simply because He loves you and He knows your human frame was never built to carry the weight of the world. You know what breaks my heart the most? There are people who have prayed every single day, who have read their Bible faithfully, who have believed with everything they had, and still watch their finances crumble, their health decline, their closest relationships fall apart. Not because their faith was weak, but because there is a layer inside Jesus' words that nobody ever showed them. A hidden layer, encoded deliberately. For those who were ready, I put something in the first pinned comment below this video. It is not something I share openly. It is a gift, specifically for the person who made it this far and still feels like the life the Bible promises is somehow just out of reach. Go check it right now before we continue. It will only be there for a limited time. Maybe you have forgotten what it feels like to just be held by your Creator, to not have to be the strong one for 5 minutes, to not have to have all the answers. Right now, in the quietness of wherever you are, I just want you to exhale. Lord Jesus, I bring to you the one listening to my voice right now. I ask you to gently pry their fingers open. Take the things they are gripping so tightly, the fears about tomorrow, the regrets about yesterday, the situations they cannot fix. Wash over their tired mind with your presence. Let them feel the profound relief of knowing that you are in control so they do not have to be. Have you ever noticed how quickly peace can evaporate? It is rarely a loud, dramatic event that steals it away. Most of the time, the theft happens quietly. You can be having a perfectly normal afternoon. The immediate tasks are done. And then, out of nowhere, a single thought drops into your mind. A memory of a past pain. A sudden what if about the future. A conversation that carries an undertone of conflict. Just like that, the air changes. A heavy cloud settles over your chest. It feels like an invisible opposition, a subtle attack designed specifically to pull you back into the dark. We often think of peace as a state of calmness that only comes when all our problems are finally solved. We tell ourselves, I will be at peace when the finances are stable. I will be at peace when this relationship is fixed. I will be at peace when the season of grief is over. Ventri zu vati. But if we wait for perfect circumstances, we will be waiting our entire lives. The Apostle Paul writes in Philippians chapter 4, verse 7, about a completely different kind of peace. He calls it the peace of God, which transcends all understanding. And he says this peace will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Look closely at that word, guard. You only need a guard when there is a very real threat. You only need a fortress when there is a battle raging outside. God is not promising a human life where the wind never blows and the storms never come. He is offering to be the active fortress for your mind while the storm is happening. When those sudden, anxious thoughts try to invade your quiet moments, His peace stands at the door. It defies human logic. It transcends our limited understanding. It is the quiet confidence that says, even though everything around me feels uncertain, I am anchored to something immovable. You do not have to fight off every dark thought on your own. You do not have to exhaust yourself arguing with your own anxiety. You just have to step behind the guard. You just have to let His presence stand between you and the invisible things that are trying to break your spirit today. There is a specific kind of loneliness that comes when you are fighting a battle no one else understands. You might be surrounded by people every single day. You might have a family, coworkers, a community, but inside you feel completely isolated. People see the version of you that shows up, does the hard work, and holds it together. They do not see the version of you sitting in the parked car taking a deep breath before walking inside. They do not see the silent tears that fall when the house is finally quiet. In those moments of profound, quiet isolation, it is so easy to lose your peace. The enemy loves to whisper a very specific lie when we are tired. You are on your own. You have been abandoned. No one sees this, and God has stepped back. But the prophet Isaiah, in chapter 43, verse 2, speaks a completely different reality over your life. God says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned." Notice that the verse does not say if you pass through the waters. It says when. God acknowledges that the waters will rise. He acknowledges that the fire is real and that the heat is intense. He is not dismissing your pain or minimizing your hardship. He is simply stating a spiritual truth. The fire and the water do not have the final say. The presence of a trial does not mean the absence of God. In fact, when you feel the most abandoned, He is often doing His deepest work in the silence. He is sitting with you in the ashes of whatever did not go as planned. He is standing with you in the quietness of your room. He is the invisible, steady anchor when the emotional current is trying to pull you under. You do not have to explain your exhaustion to Him. He already knows the words you cannot speak. He sees the hidden opposition you face. He honors your silent endurance. Just rest in this truth for a moment. You are deeply seen. You are fiercely loved. And in the middle of this rising water, you are not alone. If something in those words just cracks something open inside you, stay with that feeling for a second. Because that crack, that is exactly where the light gets in. Jesus knew about this moment. He encoded the answer to it. The real answer. The one that actually moves things in your finances, your body, your relationships, inside His parables. Hidden in plain sight, waiting for the person desperate enough to look deeper. Most people read right past it their entire lives, and nothing changes. The ones who find it, everything shifts. If you haven't gone to the first pinned comment yet, this is your moment. What I left there, including something I almost didn't include but felt strongly that I should, was made for the exact pain you are carrying right now. Do not scroll past this. Some doors only stay open for a little while. Sometimes, what drains your peace is not a sudden, shattering event. It is the slow, steady leak of everyday life. It is the continuous friction of just trying to hold your ground. You know exactly what I mean. It is waking up already feeling behind. It is the constant demands from work, from family, from life itself. It is the quiet, invisible opposition you face when you are just trying to do the right thing. Yet everything feels so incredibly difficult. You pour out your energy, you give your time, you carry other people's problems, and eventually the well simply runs dry. When you are running on empty, peace is impossible to maintain. Your soul becomes brittle. The smallest inconvenience suddenly feels like an insurmountable mountain. Jesus understood this human reality perfectly. When he walked on this earth, he saw people who were weary, harassed, and stretched too thin. He did not offer them a new set of rules to follow. He did not tell them to just push through the pain or to be stronger or to try harder. Instead, in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, he extends the most compassionate invitation ever spoken. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." And he continues in the next verse, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." Pay close attention to how he describes himself here. He does not say he is demanding. He says he is gentle. He is humble in heart. Jesus is not disappointed in your fatigue. He is not frustrated with your lack of energy. He is not standing far off, waiting for you to finally get your act together. He knows you are weary. He knows you are carrying a burden that has made your steps heavy. He is offering you a profound exchange, your exhaustion for his gentleness, your heavy striving for his quiet rest. Not just physical sleep, but a deep, restorative rest for your soul. Lord, for the person listening to my voice right now whose spirit is just so deeply tired, I ask that you would grant them permission to stop striving. Remind them that they do not have to earn your presence, and they do not have to perform to receive your peace. Wrap them in your gentleness today. Let them breathe again. Let us talk about the peace that is stolen by sorrow, not just the daily stress, but the deep, lingering aches. The situations that did not work out the way you desperately prayed they would. The doors that closed, the relationships that shifted, the losses that permanently changed the landscape of your life. When you are carrying that kind of quiet, heavy grief, your mind easily becomes a battleground. You replay the past. You wonder if you did something wrong. You question if God was actually listening, and in that space of profound vulnerability, your peace slips away, replaced by a cold, persistent anxiety. That is a very difficult, very human place to be. The psalmist writes in Psalm 34, verse 18, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Notice where God is positioned in this verse. He is not standing far away on a distant shore, waiting for you to heal yourself before you can approach him. He is close. He is right there in the middle of the ache. Sometimes, we mistakenly believe we need to gather all the broken pieces of our lives, glue them back together, and put on a brave face before we can find peace. We think peace is the final reward for fixing everything. But true, lasting spiritual peace is found when we finally stop trying to fix what only God can heal. It is found in the quiet act of surrender. In Psalm 46, verse 10, the divine instruction is incredibly simple. "Be still and know that I am God." Being still does not mean you stop living. It means you cease your frantic internal striving. It means dropping the heavy, impossible expectation that you have to hold your own universe together. It is giving yourself permission to feel the loss, to acknowledge the pain, and yet to trust that the Good Shepherd is guiding you through the valley, not abandoning you inside of it. You do not have to have the perfect, strong prayer today. If all you have left is a quiet, tired sigh, He hears it. He understands the language of your silent tears. And here is what most people never discover. Jesus didn't just promise this comfort in plain language. He buried the exact mechanics of how it works, how ordinary people like you and me actually access this strength in real life, inside His parables. Hidden on purpose for the ones ready to go deeper. The people who find that layer, something shifts, not just spiritually, in their finances, in their health, in the relationships they had already given up on. I left something in the first pinned comment below this video, a gift, specifically for the person who is tired of feeling alone in the fight and knows there has to be more than what they've been shown so far. Check it before we keep going. It won't be there forever. Lord Jesus, for the heart that feels shattered and deeply worn out right now, I ask that your presence would be more tangible to them than their pain. Quiet the accusations of the enemy in their mind. Give them the grace just to be still today, knowing that you are securely holding the pieces they can no longer carry. If you are still here with me as we reach the end of this video, I want to invite you to subscribe to our channel and join us every day. I say that not just as a passing request, but because if you have listened this far, I know we are sharing a very real, very human moment together. You did not pause your day just to pass the time. You are here because your soul is genuinely tired. You are looking for a safe place to lay down the heavy, invisible armor you have been wearing for far too long. A place where your unspoken struggles are finally understood. I want to validate that quiet ache you carry. It takes a tremendous amount of courage to keep showing up, to keep loving your family, to keep doing your work, when inside you feel like you are walking against a violent wind. The unseen opposition you face in your daily life is exhausting. The fact that you are still standing, still seeking God, still asking for His peace, that is a profound testament to the quiet endurance He has placed inside of you, even on the days you feel incredibly weak. You are not failing because you feel tired. You are simply human, carrying a load you were never meant to carry alone. But we cannot leave things as they are. We cannot just acknowledge the heavy burden and walk away. If you want to fiercely protect your peace today, we have to make a definitive shift in how we respond to the quiet storms in our minds. The enemy wants to keep you trapped in a cycle of, overthinking, trying to solve tomorrow's problems with today's limited strength. He wants you to believe that true peace will only arrive when your circumstances are finally perfect. We must reject that lie right now. We have walked through the reality of the burden, the sudden anxieties, the deep isolation, and the heavy sorrow. But how do we actually close the door on the things trying to steal our peace right now? How do we step back into our day differently than how we started? There is one final, powerful truth we need to anchor our hearts to. It is the quiet secret of those who manage to walk through the fire without being consumed by it. We spend so much of our lives trying to build walls to protect our peace. We try to control the narrative. We try to predict the future. We believe that if we can just manage our circumstances perfectly, we will finally be safe from the pain. But the quiet, profound transformation happens the moment you realize that true peace is not a fortress you build with your own hands. It is a person you hide behind. In the Gospel of John, chapter 16, Jesus gives us the ultimate reality check, followed by the ultimate comfort. He says, "In this world you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world." He did not say you might have trouble. He said you will. There will be silent battles. There will be days when the emotional weight feels entirely too heavy. There will be unseen opposition in your everyday life. But the anchor for your soul is the truth that He has already overcome the very things that are threatening to overwhelm you today. You do not have to fight for victory. You are resting in it. You can stop bracing for impact. You can stop holding your breath. Let the storm rage outside if it must, but refuse to let it inside your spirit. The peace of God is yours. It is your inheritance. It is not something you have to earn by being strong, and you certainly do not lose it just because you feel weak. It is a gift freely given to a tired heart that simply says, "Lord, I cannot, but you can." Take a deep breath. Right now, in this very moment, release the tension you have been carrying in your shoulders. Release the tight grip you have on tomorrow. You can let go now. The hands that hold the entire universe are more than strong enough to hold you. Thank you for spending this quiet time with me. If these words brought some comfort to your tired soul today, please subscribe to our channel. I also want to ask you to share this video with 5 people in your life. Send it to a friend, a family member, or someone you know who might be silently carrying a heavy burden right now. They might just need to hear that they are not alone. Please leave a sincere comment below. Tell me how you are really doing, or simply leave a short prayer if you are too tired for words. And while you are there, please suggest a topic you would like us to talk about in our next video. We are walking this road together. May the profound, unexplainable peace of Christ guard your mind and your heart today. Rest well.